I want to welcome you to the very first of my Parsha snippets that I'm going to be giving via video. And I want to thank you for taking the time out to listen to this Dvar Torah that I hope you will share at your Shabbos tables. The pasuk in Parshas Lech Lcha, in Perek Yud Gimel pasuk Yud Dalet says, "V'Hashem amar al Avram." Hashem said to Avram, "Acharei hipared Lot me'imo." After Lot left Avram, "Sana einecha urei min hamakom asher ata sham." Lift up your eyes and see from the place which you are standing. What should you see? Tzafona v'negba v'kev mavayama. Look in all directions. God says to Avram, Avram, I want you to look in all directions because I want you to understand that where you are now and what you are looking at is destined to become the inheritance of your children. Eretz Yisrael, all of the land of Israel, will be for your children. So there is a question, of course, that appears on this pasuk. And the question is, why is it that God says to Avram, lift up your eyes and see, min hamakom asher ata sham, from the place that which you are standing? Obviously, if I say to someone, please, look at that over there, the person is going to look from where they're standing. They're not going to look from somewhere else. They're standing in one place, they're going to look at the object that I point to or that I ask them to point to, which is in a different location. What was the reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God, added these words, min hamakom, from the place asher ata sham? So the Baal Shem Tov suggests the following, which I believe is a very practical application to our lives. He suggests that the following is the reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu asked Avram to look min hamakom, from the place where he was standing. He said the message to Avram was one which was very important. It was one which was last for history. It was one which really encompassed the entire legacy of Avram Avinu, who he was going to become, and who his children were destined to be, and where they were destined to live. So because of that, God wanted to make sure that Avram really understood what was transpiring at this moment. And therefore God said to Avram, lift up your eyes and see, min hamakom asher ata sham. Min hamakom, from the place, means from the entire place, not the location around you, but from where you are vis-a-vis this place. God was saying to Avram, I know you're standing here physically, but are you focusing spiritually and emotionally as well to make sure that you're able to really live in the moment? So the Baal Shem Tov says we can compare this to someone who is standing in shul and may lose the train of thought, something that we often think about when we're standing in shul. The Shulchan Aruch tells us that if a person is in the middle of davening Shemona Esrei and all of a sudden they lose train of thought and their mind wanders to something else, what they're supposed to do is stop where they are, wait until they're able to refocus, and then continue davening. That's halacha mefurish in Shulchan Aruch. I remember that a couple of weeks back, there was someone who said to me when they were standing at a wedding, when often people daven mincha or marav at a wedding, and there are many people nowadays who watch who look for tefillah, look to use whether it's their iPhone or their Droid or their whatever other gadget they have to daven off of the davening. It's easy to download, easy to have in front of you. And this individual had a pocket mincha that he opened up and davened from his wallet, and didn't use his iPhone or his BlackBerry, whatever it was. And I said to him, I knew he was very technologically advanced, and I said, how come you're not davening from your BlackBerry? And the response that he said was, I don't want people to think that I'm checking my email. Because too often, he responded, and we all know that this is true, too often I see people in shul who are busy checking their email, or checking their text messages, or checking their phone log, and they lose track of what they are doing in shul. How often is it that we find ourselves just a little bit lost when we're standing and trying to focus on davening? We live in such a busy world. We have such tremendous responsibilities in our lives. And yet God gives us an opportunity 3 times a day to take all of our worries and our fears and put them aside and simply talk to Him, not to say. Naturally, all of our requests we should keep as part of our davening. All of our concerns should be part of our davening. But we have a form, we have a way in which we daven, and we need to keep to that form. We also need to be able to add these things in, these requests in, be it at certain points during our tefillah, be it at Shema Kolenu. But the main point is that we have to remember why we're in shul. We have to remember to focus, to be there not only physically, davening with our siddur, looking at the pages, saying the words, but be there emotionally and spiritually as well. To realize that we are making a statement with our tefillah, with our prayer, to God, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we're also making a statement and being an example for our children and grandchildren. Not only vis-a-vis the tefillah, the prayers that hopefully God will listen to and answer, but also by the way we take tefillah, by the way we approach our prayer, by what we do in shul when we're standing and we're waiting and we're finished with Shemona Esrei, or we're in the middle of Kriya Shema, or we're in the middle of Psukei de Zimra, how we're quiet, how we pay attention, how we focus, and even how we may even just close our eyes for a couple of moments to take in the moment that will eventually, hopefully, last for us and our children for generations. As that moment, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God revealed the land of Israel to Avram Avinu and said to him, take in that moment, because this is destined to be your legacy. Thank you for watching and listening, and have a good Shabbos.